friends, welcome back to my channel. We're here today to talk about my nonfiction November TBR. If you haven't heard the buzz on YouTube, on BookTube, Nonfiction November happens every year in November. It's hosted by a Book Olive, and the goal is to encourage readers to pick up more nonfiction during the month of November than they normally read. So for people who don't usually read nonfiction or much of it, the goal is to read one book, at least one book during the month. For people who generally read some nonfiction, maybe to read exclusively nonfiction during the month of November, or just to read more than you normally do. So, because I do try to read nonfiction, I always have some nonfiction books around. I have some books here that I'd love to get to during the month of November, some books that are on their way to me that I'd like to get to in the month of November. So today I'm just going to share with you a couple of those titles and maybe to get you interested in some of these titles as well. So one of the things that Olive suggests, she gives 4 word prompts every year, and the word prompts are usually a little vague. So maybe not vague, but they could be interpreted in many different ways. So they can help you narrow down your TBR if you want some help, or if you don't want help, you already have books and maybe you want to try to get those books to fit into the prompts because you want to meet a challenge. However you want to look at those 4 word prompts. The prompts this year are style, industry treatment, and collection. So 4 words, 4 challenges. I have several books here, and a couple of them I think will meet those words in some way. So let's talk about it. Some of these are books that I've gotten from publishers and just haven't gotten around to reading it. So I'm looking for motivation to pick up these books so I can post reviews. Yeah. First of those books is Halflives, The Unlikely History of Radium by Lucy Jane Santos. This was a gift from the publishers, Pegasus Books. Pegasus Books sent me this book few months ago. That's the author, Lucy Jane Santos. Says she's an expert in the history of 20th century health and beauty with a particular interest in the cultural history of radioactivity. Half-lives is how radioactive material decomposes. So I really want to read this. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So hoping to pick this one up for industry because this is from the science industry in some way. This was a gift from Penguin Random House several months ago. They sent me 400 Souls. This is a collection of thoughts on the 400-year history of African Americans. Yeah. So I started reading this when I first got it and I didn't finish, but I'd like to finish. So I'm going to be starting over because that's what I do when I've had books on my TBR for when I've been currently reading books for some time. This is edited by Ibram X. Kendi and Keisha N. Blaine. Ibram X. Kendi is well known for his anti-racist series, and Keisha N. Blaine is the author of Set the World on Fire. And these are their pictures. So this is a collection of thoughts. So definitely for that word prompt, we're going to be reading that. I'm not sure if this is specifically nonfiction because it does have some, I think it does have a few fictional pieces. It's a collection. It has some history. It has some is history. Here we go. It's historical essays, short stories, personal vignettes, and fiery polemics. So maybe this isn't completely nonfiction, but I'm going to read it anyway because, that's what we do. This book was a gift from Pegasus Books as well. This is The Sisterhood of the Enchanted Forest, Sustenance, Wisdom, and Awakening in Finland's Karelia. This is by Naomi Moriyama and William Doyle. This is a couple and they started off in New York, and it says the woman, Naomi, she moved with her husband and their 7-year-old child to the vast forest of Finland's Karelia, a mysterious region on the Russian border. And here she wanted to write about what she found when she went to Finland. So this, I think, is part memoir, part history, part ecology. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. The Sisterhood of the Enchanted Forest. I'm thinking that this is going to be about style because she focuses on the female presence here. So I'm using this as a book that will meet style or treatment. We'll see when we actually get to it. This was on my TBR a few months ago and I didn't get to it. This is an arc that I got from Celadon Books. This is the memoir of Ladoris Hazard Cordell. She's a judge, of course, and the book is entitled Her Honor, My Life on the Bench, What Works, What's Broken, and How to Change It. In this one, she talks about what really happens in the courtroom, what really happens in the judges' chambers, that kind of thing. And yeah, this is the legal system from someone on the inside in the courtroom. So Judge Cordell is the first African American woman to sit on the Superior Court of Northern California. So in here, she talks a little bit about jury selection. She talks about prejudice, how prejudice has permeated the legal system. She talks about ending school segregation and same-sex marriages and all of that. So I really want to read this. Just haven't gotten a chance to get to it yet. So looking forward to getting to it in November. And I'm thinking that this is going to be maybe style. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. That might not meet any of the word prompts, but let's check it out. For industry, I'm hoping someday to break into the podcast industry. That's probably one of the newest industries that exists now, podcasting. And Penguin Random House sent me this book, which is NPR's podcast startup guide. Create, launch, and grow a podcast on any budget. This is by Glenn Weldon. And, on the back, it says, so you want to start a podcast? Yeah, eventually. So this is part masterclass, part candid informational interview with the best in the business. And it says this book is a must read for anyone who wants to make their dream of starting a podcast a reality. So it has about 260 pages of text. So hoping to get to that in November for industry. And then I'm so excited about this book. It came yesterday and I don't even want to take the wrapping off. This is such a beautiful book. National Geographic publishes these fantastic studies on topics. And so this is Lost Cities, Ancient Tombs, 100 Discoveries That Changed the World. And I'm thinking that this is going to be for treatment in some way because it's talking about how archaeologists treat their findings to preserve them and so on. So hoping to get to that one for treatment. I'm also expecting a book entitled Immune coming from Penguin Random House soon. Hoping to get to that for treatment as well. So yeah, those are some of the books that I'm hoping to read for Nonfiction November in November. Look forward to hearing from you in the comments down below. If you're participating in Nonfiction November, what's the book that you're most excited to get to? So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Give me a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Let's chat in the comments. And until next time, happy reading, happy nonfiction reading in November. Bye.